So welcome friends to this another gameplay of Knights of the Air, that is a First World War based fast play hex map based game that you can very easily get started playing. Everything that you need, the games, the scenarios, the maps, the counters, everything are there in a game book which is available on Amazon as a paperback, but also available as a PDF on Wargames Vault. Here I would just like to give you a very quick gameplay example. This scenario 2, I'm going to tweak it a little bit so that we can finish it off faster. So instead of having 6 aircrafts, we'll only have 4. And in this particular scenario, the original scenario would have the Germans as the attackers, the Central Powers as the attackers, coming and trying to raid 3 trenches. But for this game, we are only going to have 2, which are marked as with red boxes. Excuse me for the crude sketching on that. Basically, my printer somehow is not able to print red color, so I have just used a sketch pen to color that to make that boundary. And on the allied powers, the Brits, they will be out there with 2 Sopwith camels. They'll be there to defend, so they will be there, and the 2 of them are there. One of them will be an ace marked with a star over here. Now originally they start off here, but just to give them a fighting chance where there are only 2 instead of 4, we are moving it back. I'll be rolling the dice in the background. Now as attackers, the Germans are going to start first, and according to the scenario, their victory point is based on destroying at least 2 trenches in 7 turns. So let's see what happens. First turn. Now the bomber, and if you can look at the scenario, where here we have the bomber, the Gotha plane, which has a move rating of 3, so it can do 3 things. It can choose, and since the target is straight ahead, it will firstly, I believe, just choose to go straight. 1, 2, 3. And we have the fighter, which also is an ace, and now it can do 4 things. There's no special things for being an ace in terms of movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now it's in a cloud. In a cloud, it's protected. Neither can it shoot, but no one can see or shoot it itself. That's where they are, and now we'll have the defenders moving. They have seen them coming in, and they're going to move straight to the attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, and similarly 1, 2, 3, 4. First turn finished. No one's in sight, no one's in range. So we'll have the second turn. Gotha going up first and turning 1 hex side, so that's 2, and this is third. So it's now kind of set up for its attack. Now it's kind of ready over there. Remember, it can bomb the target in front of it. So here combat will happen. And what we are going to do, as a bomber, it will roll 3 dice, 3d6, and on every roll of 5 and 6, it's a hit. Now particularly for this, even any one hit is considered as a hit, as a successful hit. So let me do that off table. And there are 2 hits, so this particular target is considered destroyed. And okay, I have not kept anything to mark it. Now one of the things you can do is you can even play with pens or pencils. Pencils will be better, so that you can mark it, but somehow I did not plan it well and I have not kept it here. Excuse me on that, but let's keep in mind this is destroyed. And now we still have the fighter to move. What the fighter will do is it will move towards the enemy and try and cover. So it can again do 1, and now it will turn. So 2, 3, and 4. For the sake of this game, again, we are ignoring the anti-aircraft gun positions, so they don't come into play. But in the real one, of course, in the real war game, they will have a role to play. That's the first phase of the second turn. Now let's see what they do. Now if it continues to move in the cloud, it will not be able to shoot, but now it can get into a shooting position. So the British, 1, 2, and then a turn, and it remains over here and so it's able to engage. And let's see if the other plane can also do that. 1, 2, and if it turns over here, 3 and 4. So yes, both of them, that's going to be quite critical. Let's see what happens. So 2, one of them is an ace, so that will be get an extra d6. So that particular plane will roll 4d6, and we'll begin with that first, and then the other will roll 3d6. Again, 5s and 6s are a hit, but over here we have, it can absorb 3 damages. First, there's 1 hit, and so that is something that I can mark over here. That's a Fokker 1, so it's got 1 single hit, and then the second one will roll 3d6, and wow, amazing. That was 2 hits, and that's 3 already done, and on that note it is destroyed, shot out of the sky. Now at this point the bomber can continue, remember, or the bomber can choose to go back. For this particular scenario, we thought of like, if it destroys anyone, that would be sufficient. But let's just get into a little bit of air-to-air combat, shall we? So 2 turns are done. Now let's just say that it wants to come and destroy it. So it will move 1. So sorry, 1 turn, 2, 3, and that's where it is. It's because it's in the cloud, it's safe currently. So what do the bits do? I guess one of them will try and cut it off. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and the other will try and get on its tail. 1, 2, and in fact I will anticipate it coming here. Yeah, but I made a mistake. I think it will not come over there. So that turn is done. So the next turn, no combat. So the next turn, 1, 2, and it's there to bomb it. And let's see what happens. So 3d6. No hits, no hits. So now definitely they can attack. And again, if this particular fighter tries to turn back from this side, it's not going to be able to attack. But what can happen is this particular fighter coming 1, 2, and doing a head-on pass. Now that's risky, but then yeah, that's what it's going to do. And what we can have this fighter do is do a turn of 1, 2, 3, and no, that doesn't help. So, or rather, I would rather just bring it 1, 2, 3, and 4, and wait. Let's see what happens. And let's try out that combat. Now, there's going to be reactive fire because the bomber can also shoot back. So let's just see what happens. Now that is a ace, so 4d6. And from the bomber, 3d6. So yes, 4d6. It has shot down the bomber because 3 of them are hits. 1, 2, 3, but remain. We still have to check out the bomber's hits. Bomber in an air-to-air roll shoots on a 6 only. So 3d6 rolling, hitting on 6s, and it has shot the sop with camel 1 time. So that's got 1 hit, and that's where the game ends basically. A very quick game, as you can see, and it's always going to lead you to results. Very less time you will come up with draws and things like that. So very fast, very easy to play, and very easy to start gaming. And that was my design goals basically. I hope you enjoy, and you, as I shared in the beginning, you can get a paperback on Amazon, but you can also get the PDF on Wargames Vault and then print it yourself. Happy gaming.